What's up, Snares? Back to another review of Justice League. And guys, this is the main title of Justice League, the comic. And we actually have a new creative team on this issue. It's issue number 48, and it's The Rule, Part 1. Now, so far, we pretty much, in this whole series, we had Scott Snyder, we had his whole run with, Perpetua, Lex Luthor. It was an awesome run from issue number 1 to issue number 39. But after that, we had Robert Venditti. He jumped on and did, 2 story arcs. He did pretty much the Invasion of Superman, which was pretty solid. It wasn't his greatest one. But then he did pretty much the last one, Cold War. Now, that pretty much had Spectre, it had the Amazons. I thought that was actually a pretty cool storyline. Now, this new one is pretty much written by Simon Spurrier, and it's drawn by Aaron Lopresti. Now, what we see here is pretty much we have, well, first off, we have a cool cover. I like the cover. We see the whole Justice League, they're coming to a new civilization. And honestly, the cover looks cool, but the synopsis for this issue kind of got me a little worried. Because it pretty much shows that, alright, the Justice League, they're going to pretty much, they get a distress signal to help out an alien race. Now, I don't really like when Justice League title does this, because actually it did this in the Justice League Rebirth run, where a bunch of storylines for the Justice League were fighting against different alien races, and it just is kind of boring and generic. The Justice League have great villains, like Mongol, all these great other villains, and using just a regular generic alien race, it doesn't really make sense. But I still held out hope, alright? I was like, I'll read it, check it out, because I really like this Justice League title. And actually, Simon Spurrier, he actually wrote pretty much the Sandman Universe comics recently, like the Dreaming, Books of Magic, and those are not bad comics. So alright, I'll check it out. Now, what we see in this issue, obviously at the start, we see the full Justice League. They get a distress signal, and they show up to the ship, right? And you see this big monster on top of it. Now, I'm alright, we're gonna get some action, but no, that's not what happens. Batman actually sends in Flash. He runs off from the ship, gets inside the ship, and what we see is he finds these kids. And it's just alien kids, right? And he's like, alright, what's going on here? Because they're trying to decide if they should take down this big monster and kill it, but Wonder Woman's like, wait, this creature may be not actually evil. It may just be doing what it's supposed to do. And turns out it was the kids who was pretty much operating this, and these kids are pretty much lost. They can't find their home planet. They're sent away, and the Justice League's trying to figure this out, right? And Wonder Woman's like, alright, we gotta help them out, and actually leads them to a planet called pretty much Trough. Or pretty much the species is called the Troughs. Now what we see is this species, a bunch of them are mind controlled by this Empress, alright? This Empress is mind controlled them pretty much a zombie army. And when I saw this, well, when I started reading this, I was like, alright, this is a little crazy, but maybe it'll flip a switch, alright, it'll get more interesting. But at this point, I'm like, alright, it's pretty okay, not really great. But what we see next is pretty much the civilization actually revolts back. And what we find out is actually this civilization, this alien race, is split up into 2 factions. So we have both these factions, these 2 parts of the species, always go against each other. They can't stand each other. But what we see is they pretty much overthrow this Empress and pretty much throw off the whole mind control thing, and they have their minds back. But they can't really stand each other, therefore can't have a good civilization. Now what we see is Justice League shows up, and they help out, and Superman actually stops this Empress, helps out the whole civilization. What it leads to is these different alien leaders hey, you could actually rule us. You are great heroes, you're gods, you're from the skies, you can help us out. And Superman at first is alright, we can help out a little bit, get you guys on your feet. But Wonder Woman's no, we cannot do that. We have Earth to pretty much protect, and we only know this alien culture. We only know what all these, their culture is, what they do, how we're supposed to lead them. And what happens is then pretty much the planet is attacked by this other species. And we see pretty much, annihilation of the Troughs. This thing wants to destroy this alien species, and the Justice League are the only thing standing in the way of pretty much saving them. The Justice League's the only thing that can save this alien species. And what we see is this big thing, and actually it has a cool look, I like it. It starts attacking. We see Superman, he punches it. We see all these different Justice League members fight off against it, but then Superman tells the alien species, hey, stay down, we'll take care of it. But the alien species, instead of saying, alright, well, we'll just stay down, you got it, was oh, all hell you guys. And just whoa, Superman's actually whoa, we're not supposed to be leaders, hold up there. And what we see is this big other force that showed up, and he pretty much caused a big explosion. Now the issue ends with like a big explosion, maybe like the planet, maybe just like the city, we don't know, but something bad happened and it's gonna be pretty much held on the Justice League's shoulders. Like, in a way, the alien species, a bunch of people, bunch of like their civilization dies, they'll blame on the Justice League because they're supposed to lead them. Even though Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, we're all like, no, we're not here to lead you, we're just here to pretty much help out and get these kids back to safety. And that's the day I actually forgot. The kids that they saw in the beginning of the issue, they eventually got them back to their parents. So that was kind of nice. But overall, this issue, I just wasn't really invested, right? Like, it was kind of interesting, alright, I like, we see the Justice League, they help out this alien race, oh, we see this other big force show up, cause an explosion, big cliffhanger, but it just wasn't really, it was kind of a slog to read at times. Like, it started out pretty good. I did like the Flash showing up and being like, oh, there's kids, we gotta help them out. I also like that, like, Wonder Woman saying, hey, we don't know this alien culture, we don't know what they do, we gotta be pretty much safe about this, smart about this, and go and help each other out. So Justice League, they were being a good team, so that's good. Like, Simon Spurrier gets, like, pretty much the team dynamic, but at the same time, I'm just not interested in this whole alien species story arc. The art doesn't really sell it. Like, Aaron Lopresti's art, it's kind of dated, alright? I just wasn't, like, the action wasn't as great. The final page, where it's supposed to be like a big cliffhanger, didn't really hit me, alright? And for this to be, like, the main Justice League title, you expect, like, the art to be a lot better, right? Like, I like last issue with Robert Venditti and Eddie Barrow's art. Like, his art was amazing. We also had George Jemetz. We've had Howard Porter. All these big artists. And even if they're not really a big artist, they still have clean artwork and really cool artwork. Where this is just kind of generic and dated artwork. Now, it just may be not my style, right? This artwork may not be my style, I just don't like it, but maybe you guys do. Maybe there are people out there that likes this art style and thinks it's amazing. That's fine. But for me, I just didn't really enjoy it, right? And for the story to be kind of stale, like, it wasn't a bad story, but it just wasn't super interesting, right? Like, I wouldn't reread this issue again. But for it to just be kind of like an okay issue, and then adding the part that the art is just kind of generic, it makes this overall issue kind of forgettable. Like, honestly, it's not really a great issue, and I hope next issue Simon Spurrier pretty much like ups the game. Like, he really needs to make the storyline better, make it more interesting, maybe get a better artist. I don't know. Like, he has potential. He did great with like the Sandman universe, with the Dreaming, the Books of Magic books. But here, he's not really doing good with the Justice League, and that's why I'm going to give this issue a 5.5 out of 10. It's forgettable, alright? It's not terrible, but it just doesn't add up to pretty much the quality of the series that we'd be expecting. But guys, in the comments below, tell me about this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about this whole alien species story arc? What do you think about Simon Spurrier pretty much jumping on board this series? And are you excited for the next issue? But guys, like the video, give a big thumbs up on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to my next Justice League comic review. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.